Time Warner Cable is pleased to be an underwriting sponsor for Carolina Week.
Coming up on the Wednesday edition of Carolina Week, we'll have team coverage of Tuesday's midterm elections and see what the results mean for you on a national, state, and campus level.
I'm Jennifer Carpenter from Raleigh. Over 100 people entered this building behind me as immigrants and came out as official U.S. citizens. I'll have their story coming up.
In sports, there's a new sheriff in town. Butch Davis is headed to Chapel Hill to coach Tar Heels football.
Meteorologist Laura Pagano will have your Carolina Week 4-day forecast.
All that and more, Carolina Week starts right now.
From the School of Journalism and Mass Communication at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, this is Carolina Week.
Hello and welcome to the November 8th edition of Carolina Week. I'm Kate Schoen.
And I'm Alex Villarreal. We'll get to our Carolina Votes coverage in just a moment. But first, Carolina Week has confirmed that Butch Davis has agreed to become the new head coach of Carolina football. We'll have details in sports.
Now on to politics and our Carolina Votes 2006 election coverage.
We go first to the national picture with the congressional results. Democrats now have firm control of the House of Representatives with 227 seats. Republicans have 195. Even if the GOP captures all 13 seats that are still undecided, it won't be enough to regain the majority. In the Senate, both parties currently have 49 seats, with two states, Virginia and Montana, too close to call. Democrats have small leads in both races. We might not know the outcomes for a month or more. We begin our team coverage with a look at who will now fill North Carolina's 13 seats in the House. Reporter Carla Babb is here with more on this story. Carla, how do the results look?
Thanks, Alex. In the Triangle area, 3 incumbent Democrats went into Tuesday evening confident of hanging on to their House seats.
Supporters, volunteers, and candidates gathered in downtown Raleigh to rally the party and celebrate the Democrats' newest sweep of U.S. House Districts 2, 4, and 13. Congressman Bob Etheridge, Brad Miller, and Chapel Hill's David Price were all re-elected to the United States House as Democrats gained House seats across the nation. The Cause Triangle poll workers and campaign volunteers had worked all day to bring democracy to life. Etheridge could still feel the excitement throughout the night.
Oh, I think tonight is one of the most energetic nights I've seen in a good while. I think people are excited. They've worked hard. They've worked in the rain. They worked when it's hot. And it's now time, as soon as the celebration ends at 9, it's going to be time to go to work.
Each House member wants to champion different issues in his next term. Miller focused on border protection, while Price eyed the chairmanship of the Homeland Security Committee. Price also stressed educational funding for schools like UNC.
We have pledged that one of the first things we'll do in the opening days of the new Congress will be to get student loans back at a reasonable loan rate. So we plan to undo some of that damage right away.
North Carolina Democrats say they want more than just victory against Republicans. Etheridge said the Democrats' wins will usher in a better Congress.
This victory is not just a victory of Democrats over Republicans. Let us remember that. It's more important than that. This victory tonight is a triumph of a hopeful future over a stagnant status quo.
Even victory comes with a price, and candidates ended the night tired and humble.
I'm very glad it's over. I'm tired. It's been a long campaign and a long day, but it's very exhilarating to see this result. I'm very, very grateful.
On a night that comes only once every 2 years, Triangle Democrats have proved that a little state support can go a long way.
So, Alex, House members will be sworn into the 110th Congress this January and will begin with the first Democratic majority in 12 years.
Carla Babb live in the studio. Thanks, Carla.
So the 3 representatives from this area are headed back to Washington. In District 2, Bob Etheridge beat Dan Mansell with 66% of the vote. Brad Miller easily outdistanced Vernon Robinson in District 13, 64% to 36%. And Representative David Price gets his 6th term in the House after beating Steve Akoff 65 to 35%, rounding out the sweep for area House Democrats. We continue our team coverage with a look at how UNC students got involved with this election. Carolina Week sent reporter Justin Smith to follow the actions of the Young Democrats leading up to Election Day, while reporter Jessica Floyd looked at the college Republicans. Let's first take a look at the Young Democrats. Justin?
Kate, the Young Democrats can feel a sense of accomplishment today. They campaigned since September to help Democratic candidates pick up seats across the state and the nation. Their efforts paid off.
Young Democrats tallied their party's victories as election results came in. Those chalk marks represented weeks of work on the campaign trail. More than 50 of the UNC students volunteered in races across the state. On a recent Sunday, YD members drove to the Person County town of Roxborough. Students walked from house to house and passed out campaign materials. This campaign season, efforts ranged from footwork to phone calls.
Hi, my name is Jake and I'm calling as a volunteer from UNC Young Democrats to remind you to vote early.
The students used their laptop computers to call potential voters.
For calling elderly people, we might stress Social Security, Medicare, things like that. With students, we're stressing tuition.
YD co-president Katie Tolliver says the internet phone service allowed the student group to work for campaigns across the country.
I think our capability and our mission has kind of increased dramatically in scope because of the technology that's available.
Young Democrats use the internet phone service Skype to reach potential voters. In past elections, volunteers had to drive to phone banks. Let's go now to my colleague, Jessica Floyd.
Justin, unlike the Young Democrats, the college Republicans haven't been that visible. They say one reason is because most UNC students are not registered to vote in Orange County.
The college Republicans know they haven't been campaigning on campus that much, and here's why.
Most of the students that I meet are liberal.
So instead of campaigning on campus, the college Republicans were working off campus by putting up signs for candidates like Jamie Daniel and targeting other areas to place signs.
Greenwood, Country Club, Mason Farm.
St. John's voting poll site was one of those places, so I went there and talked with Republican Judge Kathy Abram.
We have had a constant flow all day. I mean, there's been very little lull. When there's been a break, it's only been for just a few minutes, and then we have another rush of people.
Abram says the rainy weather couldn't keep voters away, even the youngest ones.
I've just been with my dad every single time since I've been born.
And the CRs say they'll keep campaigning during every single election, no matter what the outcome.
It's not like, oh no, we took one little loss, so we're out of the game. We're definitely going to keep working.
Again, with those 2 Senate seats still up for grabs, there could be some good news for Republicans, but the balance of power has definitely shifted.
Thanks, Jessica and Justin, for that look into the influence of national and state politics here on campus.
In Orange County, only 37% of eligible residents exercise their right to vote in the midterm elections. But reporter Jennifer Carpenter says some people still take that right very seriously. Jen?
Thanks, Alex. The NC State Fairgrounds hosted the International Festival this weekend, which celebrates the diversity of North Carolina. What kicked off the event was the naturalization ceremony, where 105 immigrants were sworn in as U.S. citizens.
Hello, Sana Ghazi from Pakistan.
Good morning, Chasos Omar from Nigeria. Good morning, I'm Stephen Wu from Taiwan. Steve King from Nigeria.
Zayas from Ethiopia. Good morning, this is Sherry. I come from Taiwan.
Elias Cave from France.
Good morning, Jayasri from India.
It shows everyone becoming an American citizen. It shows what America's all about, the melding of different cultures and countries all becoming one people.
We have the most rights, personally, in my opinion, despite all the other countries. So I feel that we have to represent that well, and that's the biggest part of being a citizen. I'm from India, actually.
I appreciate the dedication that the new citizens have shown. It's not easy, as you may know. It takes 5 or more months of hard work.
Yeah, we had to first apply, and then they'll call you down to the immigration center, and then you had to take a test, which is like a series of American history questions.
Well, we have to go through a lot of paperwork and go to these meetings and stuff to be able to get all our citizenship and to make sure, you know, we are part of the United States, which I was really looking forward to being.
There isn't that much freedom in the country I'm from, so I want to take the opportunity to be thankful and happy that I have the opportunity.
It actually feels kind of cool because I can vote now, and I'm actually like kind of strong on politics, and I want to be able to vote in the next election.
I'd definitely vote. Start with that. Now I can talk about politics and not have people look at me and say, "Why do you care? You're not even a citizen." And I'll be like, "Yes, I am."
I did. I grabbed my paper and everything to vote. I'm very excited about it.
To see the enthusiasm that the new citizens have, it makes you proud to be an American. It sounds like a cliche, but it's true.
Under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The naturalization ceremony is the culmination of a lengthy process. But with the immigrants I spoke with, they say it was a life-changing moment.
Thanks, Jen. After gaining residency, which takes a few years, the naturalization process can take up to 5 more months. Each of the new citizens at the ceremony received a certificate, forms to vote, and a pocket constitution.
Did you know 80% of children who have cancer are cured?
But that doesn't guarantee a clean bill of health. We'll tell you the story of one cancer survivor after the break.
Hey, Mark, where are you going with your piggy bank?
I'm going to give my allowance to the Interfaith Council.
Why?
Mom says they help people, and they need our help too.
The Interfaith Council has been helping families for over 30 years through family services and community house. Donations come from individuals, and every donation counts.
I want to help too.
Call the Interfaith Council at 929-6380.
What services come to mind when you think of the American Red Cross?
The Red Cross does blood drives, don't they?
They help out with natural disasters.
Giving blood.
Tornadoes and hurricanes.
Blood.
Natural disasters.
I'll bet you didn't know that the American Red Cross also provides emergency services for military families and delivers health and safety instruction in first aid, lifeguard training, and CPR. Contact your local Red Cross chapter to learn more about the services they provide.
We all know someone who has had cancer. Modern medicine has made the disease much more curable, but the pain can still continue long after the cancer is gone. UNC graduate student Erin Coyle will never forget when her childhood went into fast forward.
When I was 13, I found a lump in my right leg.
The lump grew to the size of half an orange before doctors diagnosed Coyle with a rare form of cancer.
And somewhere around that time, I kind of zoned out until they stopped and asked if I had any questions. And I said yes. I want to know if I'll be able to go back to ballet. And everyone was just a little bit quiet and said, we'll try for that.
Trying came in the form of chemotherapy, which Coyle underwent for 10 months. After that, doctors planned to start radiation treatments.
But as it turned out, I went in for my MRI. They looked at my leg and there was no tumor there anymore.
Coyle was cured, but the chemo had lingering effects. Today, the 29-year-old still has a lot of pain and low energy. Oncologist Philip Rosoff says Coyle is like many childhood cancer survivors.
Many of these children, as they grow into teen years and as they grow into adults, will have chronic health problems directly referable to the treatment that they received.
But for survivors like Coyle, these problems are a small price to pay for a treatment that keeps them alive.
30 years ago or 40 years ago, they would have been dead.
Coyle says cancer forced her to realize that tomorrow is never guaranteed.
I knew at the time that there were a lot of risks and that I might not ever be perfectly healthy again, but it was the only option I had.
A recent study found that 75% of adult cancer survivors have at least one chronic health problem. Rosoff says doctors must be trained to provide specialized care for these patients for the rest of their lives.
Tonight, Orange County health officials await lab results for 5 new possible cases of E. coli infection. Earlier this week, officials confirmed 4 UNC students had contracted the bacterial infection. Health department officials have not identified the source of the outbreak.
It's been a busy week filled with Tar Heel spirit. Homecoming is in full swing. Students can take part in various events each day this week, such as the Shooting for Hoops contest and the campus treasure hunt. UNC junior Kellen White says he enjoys the atmosphere surrounding the activities.
I think they're really going to do a good job building the community of the school. They're doing a lot of events, get a lot of different people involved. The Roots concert was great. They have the basketball shootout going on now.
An obstacle course, powder puff football game, and women's basketball game will take place throughout the day Friday. On Saturday, there will be a South Campus tailgate on the Airing House lawn. And, of course, the UNC homecoming football game kicks off at noon. The House and Senate races aren't the only elections of interest to UNC students. Tuesday was the last day for homecoming candidates to campaign before the big announcement. Pouring rain kept many UNC students out of the pit and drowned out most last-minute campaign efforts. But a few candidates chose to test the waters and brave the rain. Some handed out damp flyers to remind students to vote. Homecoming King candidate Carlin Myrick says the rain affected his original plans, but might have worked to his advantage in the end.
It affected how many signs I could hold, but I'm hoping that the rain will work to our advantage because they have a voting station at the UL, and maybe people will seek shelter, and they'll vote for the guy who they remember talking to him. So.
We'll find out who won during halftime at the football game against Georgia Tech.
Looking to make your mark on UNC? You could be just one brick away. The university's student service group, the Campus Y, has launched a brick campaign to help fund renovations to improve the historic Y building. With a contribution of $100 or more, you can engrave your message on a brick that will become part of the sidewalk outside of the building. The campaign also features a contest for the best bricks. Winners receive vintage Campus Y t-shirts. Campus Y Director Virginia Carson says getting people involved is more important than raising money.
It's even more important that people get to participate at all levels, and that Y folks and UNC folks can have their names in the bricks or something else if they'd like, and be part of the renovation.
The group has already sold 200 bricks, raising $20,000. If you'd like to buy a brick, you can find the donation form linked on our website, carolinaweek.org. Let's now welcome weathercaster Laura Pagano. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
So is there more rain in the future, or is it going to clear up?
Well, I think it's going to clear up. I hope so anyways. We saw earlier that the rain is currently coming down in Raleigh, but here in Chapel Hill, we have nothing but gray skies. Is the gray here to stay? We'll have the answer coming up.
I love this place. You give blood and they take the platelets out and give the blood back to you. It gives me goosebumps just to think about it. The hours are a bit strange, but I'm getting used to that. I come whenever I can. After all, isn't it better to give blood to them than to you know who? Just kidding.
Count.
1, 2, 3. Old habits die hard.
For more information on how you can donate, contact the UNC Blood Center.
I think I'll give O negative today.
Boy, that guy is weird.
Sniffing things to get high can deprive your brain of the oxygen it needs to keep you alive.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm weather forecaster Laura Pagano. So it has been kind of soggy here in the last few days, but I have good news in saying that the rain exits and so the sun enters. And that's good news for us, but this weekend might be kind of soggy again. But we do look forward to milder temperatures, which means temperatures are going to be slightly above average. Taking a look at the satellite, we'll see we do have an abundant amount of clouds towards our north, and that's associated with that low pressure system. We have some mid-level clouds in our area. If we zoom closer into the triangle area, we'll see that we do have a lot of high clouds and mid-level clouds, and that will be shifting off towards the east, which means good news for us, clear skies behind it. But why don't we take a look at the radar, and we'll see we do have some patchy showers and some thunderstorms off towards the north, but that will just be moving on east, maybe affecting us tonight and maybe earlier tomorrow. But after that is going to be clear skies and sunny conditions. So taking a look at the surface to see what's going on, this is the forecast for Friday. We are going to have mainly sunny skies, but we do look towards our west to see a low pressure system that's headed our way for the weekend. So that's not good news for us, but clear skies after that. So next week looks very nice. Taking a look at the 4-day forecast, we'll see that Thursday and Friday, sunny conditions, very mild temperatures hovering around the lower 70s. Saturday and Sunday also looking kind of good for sunny, but not so good for Saturday. So if you have any outdoor plans, well, they might be canceled for Saturday, or some football games might be delayed if the rain stays predominant for Saturday. But really, temperatures are really nice until you get into Sunday, where it decreases dramatically because of that cold air coming on through after that low pressure system moves off towards the east. Taking a look at the for your forecast for the weekend, say you're heading towards the beach, we'll see that Saturday is going to kind of be soggy, but for Sunday, decrease in temperatures, but really looking nice for Sunday. So if you want to go quickly towards Wilmington, it's going to be looking great. Say you want to head I-40 west towards the mountains, well, it's going to be looking kind of soggy as well, cooler conditions. So it's not going to be as nice for the mountains, but if you're headed towards the beach, it might be not too bad with mild temperatures. You may need to keep a jacket handy. So looks like great conditions for the next day or two.
Yeah, hopefully it'll clear up or the rain will hold off for the game.
Oh, definitely.
Thanks, Laura.
Well, sportscaster Brandon Curry joins us now. Brandon, we saw the exhibition game. What are you thinking about this upcoming basketball season?
I'm excited, ecstatic, downright giddy, and it is because of 6 guys. Coming up in sports, the week before basketball season starts is like Christmas Eve for a Tar Heel fan. We'll have a look ahead at the Super 6 freshmen who look to turn UNC into a national title contender.
I give you a 20. I'm sure of it. You're stupid.
Children are influenced by what they see adults do. Remember, a child may be watching you.
What do you get when you cross a soprano with a cardiologist? Someone who'll sing their heart out. Just what they're doing at a local community theater. See, the Sopranos Choir and the Cardiologist Hospital contacted their community coalition and started a children's theater. They knew busy kids are less likely to try drugs. And that's music to everyone's ears. What can your group do? Contact your community coalition at helpyourcommunity.org. Because you get more
when you get together.
What up? Stuart Scott from ESPN. I'm here in Chapel Hill in the Dean Dome. But you know what? When I go home and turn on my TV, I'm actually not watching sports center when I'm here in Chapel Hill. I'm watching Carolina Week Sports. Booyah!
Welcome to Carolina Week Sports. I'm Brandon Curry. On Monday, we reported former University of Miami head coach Butch Davis has been offered the soon-to-be vacant head coaching job here at Carolina. A source at Rivals.com with knowledge of the situation has told Carolina Week that Davis has signed a contract with the university. However, there's been no official statement yet from the athletics department, but an announcement is expected soon. While at Miami, Davis compiled a 51-20 record between 1995 and 2000, including a Sugar Bowl victory in his last year. Carolina Athletics Director Dick Bedore is hoping Davis will bring that kind of success to Chapel Hill. The women's soccer team knows what it feels like to lose. They've lost this season once. Since then, they have won 21 straight with a combined score of 54-8. It's because of these girls, All-Americans Heather O'Reilly and Yael Averbush. They have 20 combined goals, 9 of those game winners. Watch these ladies lead Carolina to yet another national championship. The tournament starts Friday at 5 here against UNC Asheville. The buzz about Butch Davis coming to Carolina has almost drowned out the excitement about basketball season, but not totally. This is North Carolina after all. In part one of a two-part series, sports reporter Brian Allen previews this year's men's basketball team with a look at their Super Six freshmen.
Last year, they were supposed to finish in the bottom of the ACC. Last year, they weren't supposed to have the talent to win the big games. Last year, they weren't supposed to have the experience to come through in clutch situations. But this year, they're the hot pick for national champion. What's the difference between last year's team and this year's? Meet the freshmen. Wayne Ellington, 6'4", 195 pounds from Wynwood, Pennsylvania, scored 31 points for Team USA in the 2006 Nike Hoop Summit, tying the record set by UNC sophomore Tyler Hansborough in 2005. William Graves, 6'6", 260 pounds, a big man with a shooter's touch. The Greensboro native was named the 2006 North Carolina High School Player of the Year. Taiwan Lawson, 5'11", 193 pounds from Clinton, Maryland. The silky smooth, speedy point guard has been described as the second coming of Raymond Felton. Alex Stevenson, 6'9", 225 from Los Angeles, California. The power forward broke his high school's career record for rebounds in just 3 seasons. Deion Thompson, 6'8", 245 from Torrance, California. Averaged over 21 points, 13 rebounds, and 4 blocks a game as a senior. Brandon Wright, 6'9", 205 pounds, but with a 7'4" wingspan. The best power forward in the country grabbed over 1,200 career rebounds and blocked over 600 shots.
This year's freshmen have a chance to be extremely important to us, so we have to be extremely patient with them, but we're going to be challenging them more than they've ever been challenged, and they're the ones that have to decide how comfortable that is.
Coach Roy Williams recognizes the potential that his freshmen have, but
potential is that thing gets coaches fired too, so we'll have to wait and see.
Adding these Super Six to a team led by preseason All-American Tyler Hansborough, the team that was supposed to be lacking too much to be competitive, now has the depth to make a long postseason run, leaving fans to wonder if there's room in the Dean Dome rafters for one more banner. From Chapel Hill, I'm Brian Allen, Carolina Week Sports.
And like Brian said, we've just learned Tyler Hansborough leads the AP preseason All-American team. The 6'9" sophomore was named on 65 of the 72 ballots.
We're definitely excited to see him play and all those freshmen that we just saw. Thanks, Brandon.
Well, when it comes to elections, we all have predictions about the results.
But would you feel confident enough to put those guesses to the test? Coming up, we'll show you a website that allowed voters to do just that.
Hear the one about the mom and the mechanic? They made a big splash running a car wash. See, the local PTA, an auto body shop, and their community coalition organized car washes, raising money to expand after-school programs. They knew keeping kids busy keeps them away from drugs. So now the town's got clean cars and clean kids. What can your group do? Contact your community coalition at helpyourcommunity.org, because you get more
when you get together.
If you have a story idea, contact Carolina Week at 843-8292. You can also visit us online at carolinaweek.org. If you have questions about this program, write Carolina Week at Campus Box 3365, UNCCH, Chapel Hill, North Carolina, 27599.
Candidates weren't the only ones competing in Tuesday night's midterm elections. The Washington Post gave voters a contest of their own. Midterm Madness, an online contest on the newspaper's website, allowed voters to predict the results of the 2006 congressional election. Competitors could choose from several different default settings or start from a clean slate to predict a winner for each race. The website also provided links to each candidate's website and statistics about the current party breakdown in Congress. Don't worry if you missed out. You can still predict which bills and measures will be passed. Go to our website at carolinaweek.org for the link.
Well, I actually filled it out on my own, and I chose for the Democrats to come out on top in the Senate, but I guess we're just going to have to wait and see how those couple of close races turn out.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to wait and see. I also played the game, but I just chose the default settings. I wasn't sure, you know.
It's the easy way.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Thank you for watching. Good night.